Welcome back to the Explainer. So you've got this great idea for an AI project, right? But you're looking at all the tools and it's a lot. Don't worry, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to pop open that AI toolbox and figure out how to get you from just having data to having a real working model. Okay, let's dive right in. You've got the idea, you've got the data, but then you see all these names: Vertex AI, AutoML, BigQuery ML. I mean, it's just an alphabet soup, isn't it? So the real question, the one we're here to answer, is which one of these paths is actually the right one for you and your project? The best way I have found to wrap your head around this is to think about it like making dinner. Seriously, you've basically got three choices, right? You can order a set menu, you could use one of those meal kits, or you could go all out and cook from scratch like a professional chef. And believe it or not, these three options map perfectly to the main ways you can build with AI. All right, first up, easy mode. This is like ordering the set menu. It's the simplest, fastest way to go. You want a result and you want it now. And the key thing is all your ingredients, your data, are already perfectly organized and sitting right there in the kitchen, or what we call a data warehouse. The tool for this job, it's called BigQuery ML. And what makes this thing so incredibly powerful is that it lets people who are already experts in data, the analysts who live and breathe SQL, build machine learning models without having to learn a whole new set of tools. The most important part, and this is huge, is that you don't have to move your data anywhere. The machine learning literally comes to your data. And just look at this. This shows you exactly how simple it is. I mean, if you've ever seen SQL before, you can probably read this. You're just telling the database, hey, create a model for me using this table right here. It is that direct. It's an incredibly powerful way to get a prediction and get it fast. Okay, but what if the set menu is a little too simple for you? What if you want something a bit more customized? You've got your own ingredients, but maybe you don't have the time, or let's be honest, the expertise to cook up a 5-star meal from scratch. Well, that brings us right to our next option, the AI meal kit. So this is the world of something called AutoML. It stands for Automated Machine Learning. And yeah, it pretty much does exactly what it says on the tin. It automates all the really hard, really time-consuming parts of building a model. Just think of it like one of those fancy meal kits, The recipe's already figured out, and all the annoying prep work, it's already done for you. The key thing to understand here is the deal you're making. Your job is to provide good, clean, labeled data. And what does labeled mean? It just means you've told it the right answer for each piece of data. So for example, you'd give it thousands of pictures of paintings, but you'd also tell it, this one is a Monet, this one is a Picasso, and so on. Once you do that, the platform takes over. It does all the heavy lifting. It tries out different models, it tunes them, it finds the best one, and what you get at the end is a super high-quality model, all without writing a single line of computer code. Pretty cool, right? But what if a meal kit just isn't going to cut it? What if you're not just trying to make dinner? You're trying to earn a Michelin star. You need total, absolute control over every single ingredient, every technique, to build something that is truly one of a kind. Well, my friend, this is where you become the pro chef. Welcome to the world of custom AI. So now, as the pro chef, you're not just bringing the ingredients, the data. Oh no, you are writing the entire recipe from scratch using powerful coding tools like TensorFlow. This is what you do when you're building something super specialized. Think of a really advanced recommendation engine for an e-commerce site, one that has to learn what I like versus what you like, and it has to do it instantly. And of course, every pro chef needs a pro kitchen, right? For building custom AI, that kitchen is called Vertex AI. It's this one big platform that handles the entire process from start to finish. And what's great is that it takes care of all the boring, messy stuff in the background, all the computer servers, making sure it can handle tons of traffic, all of that. It lets you just focus on what you do best, being the chef, writing the code, and making your model perfect. Now, here's the thing about being the pro chef. It comes with a lot more responsibility, right? If you run a restaurant and a customer gets sick, you've got to be able to explain what happened. In AI, we call this explainability. And this isn't just a nice to have. In some areas, it is absolutely critical. Think about banking. If your model denies someone a loan, you can't just throw your hands up and say, hey, the computer said no. You have to be able to explain exactly why. And that's where a tool like Vertex Explainable AI comes in. It's a lifesaver. It gives you something called feature attributions, which is just a fancy way of saying it shows you its work. So for that loan application that got rejected, it can point to the exact reasons why. Like this person's credit score was the biggest factor, or their debt-to-income ratio was too high. It gives you that transparency you need to be accountable. Okay, so we figured out our cooking style, but whether you're just microwaving a frozen dinner or prepping for a banquet, every kitchen needs the right appliances. In the world of AI, your appliances are the computer hardware that does all the heavy lifting. So your two main choices here are GPUs and TPUs. The easiest way to think about it is this. A GPU, a graphics processing unit, is like your trusty gas stovetop. It's a fantastic all-rounder. It can do a lot of things really well. But a TPU, a tensor processing unit, that's different. That's like a custom-built induction cooktop designed for one specific pot. Its only job is to do the super complex math that's at the core of machine learning, and boy does it do it fast. And this really gets to the heart of it. Look, for most things you'll do, a GPU is going to be great. But when you're that pro chef and you're training a truly massive model, we're talking about the giant language models that are behind all the AI you see today, using GPUs can get really complicated and really expensive. By switching to a specialized tool like a TPU, you can make the whole process simpler, way faster, and a lot cheaper. It's all about picking the right appliance for the size of the meal you're cooking. So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. There's no such thing as the single best AI tool. It just doesn't exist. The right choice for you is always going to be a trade-off. It really comes down to what you're trying to do, what skills your team has, what your data looks like, and maybe most importantly, how much control you really need over the final dish. And that kind of leaves us with a really interesting question to chew on, doesn't it? As these tools, especially the meal kits like AutoML, get more and more powerful and even easier to use, what does that mean for the future? Is every company going to need its own team of Michelin star AI chefs? Or will most of us just get really, really good at using these incredible meal kits? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.